Most of us think compulsively all the time. That is to say, we talk to ourselves. If I talk all the time, I don't hear what anyone else has to say. If I think all the time, that is to say, if I talk to myself all the time, I don't have anything to think about except thoughts. And therefore, I'm living entirely in the world of symbols. Therefore, if you meditate for an ulterior motive, that is to say, to improve your mind, to improve your character, to be more efficient in life, you've got your eye on the future and you are not meditating. Well, meditation, when correctly done, has nothing to do with all that. It's a kind of digging the present. It's a kind of grooving with the eternal now. The place where it's at is simply here and now. If you simply close your eyes and allow yourself to hear all the sounds that are going on around you, just listen to the general hum and buzz of the world as if you were listening to music. Don't try to identify the sounds you're hearing. Don't put names on them. Simply allow them to play with your eardrums. It's all just sound. And if I am talking to you right now and you're doing this, don't try to make any sense out of what I'm saying, because your brain will take care of that automatically. You don't have to try to understand everything. As you hear sounds coming up in your head, thoughts, you simply listen to them as part of the general noise going on, just as you would be listening to the sound of my voice, or just as you would be listening to cars going by or to birds chattering outside the window. So look at your own thoughts as just noises. And soon you will find that the so-called outside world and the so-called inside world come together. They are a happening. Your thoughts are a happening, just like the sounds going on outside. And everything is simply a happening, and all you're doing is watching it. It's all just sound. The place where it's at is simply here and now.
Okay, let's see. What is up, guys? Evan Aldo here. How are you guys doing? Really appreciate you guys for showing up, watching me on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon, 2:17 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. What is up, Gunner? What's up, Wonderbar? So, very boring market lately. You know, we've been in that range boundness. We are currently still making higher lows. It is a descending and ascending wedge here. That's the first thing we want to notice here. This is an ascending wedge, and if we were to, you know, break upward or break downward, you can see a target around the spiral line, 38K. Upward, you're looking at that 50K that people have talked about. You know, what's going to happen right here? Man. I mean, I would argue probably the 4 days more of the bearish case. I would argue the 5 days more of the bearish case, probably, although these bearish things could have played out. You know, bear div with money flow coming out. Same with the 2 day. However, if you do come up with a VWAP, you could argue that that has already played out. Daily coming up with a VWAP trigger wave potentially forming. That could be a decent argument on the way up. Your 12-hour EMAs are all gray. That would be a little bit more on the bear side. And then money flow in the 6 hour coming out crossing from green to red. So yeah, and short term, hitting this area again, money flow kind of coming up, and yeah, money flow kind of coming up, and yeah. Generally, I kind of think these lower time frames should bring us up a little bit more. Very choppy market, kind of hard to read. If we do take a fib level from that area, yeah, that pocket's pretty significant. So potentially coming back up to 443 something. Definitely a good shot of that. Definitely a good shot of that. And then if we were to, well, let's look at ETH a little bit. Obviously a lot of the same, compared to Bitcoin. Excuse me. Money flow still looks good in a 3-day. Not bad in a 2-day. Daily money flow is still good. So I would argue ETH probably looks a little bit stronger. You do have some kind of, this I would argue too, maybe some type of reverse head and shoulder type situation forming from the 2,700 high last Friday. We came down, formed that. And then if you were to, depending on where you want to put your neckline, it's back up to 2625 or 2650, excuse me. Definitely bull div on the 30-minute. Money flow still isn't perfect, but pretty decent money flow on the 20-minute with the bull div. Tough to read. Hard to kind of say. If you continue the range boundness, you'd probably come up a little bit or bounce off of there again. So yeah. And then what's interesting too, I was looking at some of the ETFs. The Fidelity one hitting off of a big point again. Money flow kind of coming up in some of these lower time frames here. Money flow coming up there. Does look kind of bullish there. That does look kind of bullish. That's why I'm thinking maybe we could see a little bit more of a jump up. And have that trigger wave play out on the daily. That's what I'm kind of thinking about here. Kind of thinking about that. BNB was a pretty strong contender. Still kind of is. 2-day green dot confirms in a day. It's going to take a little bit of time. Trigger wave in the daily, I still think that could play out and bring us up higher potentially. On some of these... maybe a bounce there. I'm not seeing anything overly concerning that we're going to, dump down. A lot of people are going short on this. And a lot of people have been going short on BNB for a while. And I don't know, I don't exactly know why. But yeah, that is a high freaking negative funding rate for BNB. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean we have to jump up, but healthy funding rates for a lot of things, nothing overly concerning that people are degen longing too much. NFT floor price, mutants, 11.3, Bored Apes 65, came up a little bit. Trump NFTs have had is it that one? No, it's 50. So yeah, these had a big jump up. Does anyone know why these just jumped up like crazy? I ain't complaining. I own quite a few of them. So yeah. But they had a nice jump up, so that's cool. Sol, yeah, let's look at Sol. So Sol you read my mind. Sol was looking pretty good. And I did post a setup in the Discord for Sol. If you guys are interested, check it out, link down below. And yeah, a lot of people obviously are looking at, kind of that double bottom area. If you break upward, you're looking at, the yearly high. Or the last year's high, 122 again, which would not surprise me at all. I think there's a good shot of it, and I like how we're looking on the daily. That trigger wave is going to confirm in a few hours. We just got to break upward. Here. So I do think that Sol has a good shot of coming up higher here, breaking upward. Now, I posted the setup in the Discord. I'm not going to post it again here, but you guys obviously kind of could, if you know some basic TA understanding, could probably know where the place to lock in profits would probably be. So yeah, that's that. And then ApeCoin was seeing some movement. ApeCoin saw a nice kind of jump up. Now we're back down, so a little unfortunate. Very volatile. That was a 14% jump up, followed by a 7% decline. I generally think we will continue to go upward. I like the trigger wave on the 4-day. All these large time frames do look very good. The Mutants and Bored Apes got a big jump off of like a bubble pop pattern. So I think we're slowly going to fight back. I think we're slowly going to fight back here for that. And by the way, guys, if you want to trade some of these, I don't think you could trade an ape on there, but check out FAIRDESK, link down below. We give $100 away to one person every week who signs up with my link, deposits any amount, and does one futures trade. So yeah, check that out if you guys are interested. Other one that Osmosis, I don't know if I would buy it right now, but there's a few new ones. This one doesn't look the best, but it's very hard to do TA on this, just too new. So yeah. And then the Helium, or it's mobile, is, I think this got a nice jump up. This got a pretty nice jump up. Mobile token. This is the Helium one, and if you have the Helium plan or whatever, you are up. I mean, you are earning that shit. You are getting that. We'll keep an eye on this. We'll keep an eye on this nice kind of bubble pop pattern here. Potentially. Keep going. So I made, in about 2 weeks of doing this, I made about $50 worth of the token. Not planning on selling it just yet. I'm just gonna hold on to it for now. So yeah. And ultimately, let's look at, I don't know, a few of the heavy hitters. Cardano never ceases to disappoint. It's dumping. I'm just kidding. But some trigger waves and stuff. The daily may give us what we need. If we can get a bull div on the daily relatively soon, that may give us what we need. And yeah, that's kind of coming up. So yeah. Let's see. We did look at Sol. I'm trying to think what else I wanted to look at. I want to look at Dot a little bit. Wrong chart. Clean rejection from there. You're bouncing around. I mean, at the Head and Shoulders, you break downward, $5. Break upward, to infinity and beyond. I don't know, but probably this high, 10.77 would be the next big place. If you were to break upward, 5-day, a lot of these do look pretty good for the most part, I would argue. So yeah. And a few of them that did, I just wanted to take a quick look at a few of the ones from yesterday that were looking pretty good. I believe one of them was, where is it? Oh yeah. One of them was XRD. Just curious about how that's done. Yeah. Where could you even XRD? MEXC could get that. You could get that on MEXC. Not a bad option there. I don't know what it does, but yeah, there are some that, it's kind of new, We'll see what the hell happens, but nice bubble pop pattern. So yeah. I think IOTA was another one that was looking not bad. Yeah. If you could bounce there, that's the big place. Where could you trade IOTA? Not too many places. BitGet, you could get it on. Zoomex, you can do it on Zoomex, it looks like, yeah. But not a crazy amount of places. BingX, yeah. Can do it on BingX. Speaking of that, I wanted to look at Theta. Yeah, it had its correction. Now you're getting those trigger waves. So it's kind of make or break for a lot of these. It's kind of make or break, the trigger wave forming, potentially bringing us, this correction so far, that's a 30%er. which is usually a pretty goddamn good place to buy, especially in the accumulation phases, or the halving years and post-halving years. So yeah. So that was theta. Add theta to my list. I may buy a little bit on spot. So theta, yeah. And then let's look at the Dixie. People have been talking about the Dixie. It did come up. Yeah, it did come up. That's a double bottom. If you break higher, yeah, stock market go down, this go up potentially. It's it's not the 2-week trigger wave, monthly. It's conflicting. I don't know it's tough to really say. Money flow is good on a lot of these, so I don't think this is over. But then again, I would expect some decrease in the short term. Your next big place is going to be 106. That was kind of that October low. So yeah, don't know. Sol looks pretty good. I think the 12-hour trigger is generally. We looked at Sol, but I think the 12-hour trigger on Sol is relatively good, as I'm seeing right there. And if we could break above, I like it. I like the daily trigger wave too. But let's see what else was there. EOS, let's look at EOS. EOS is pretty much it's an OG project, been around a minute. Is there more data for something? Trying to find if there's it's just only gone down. It only goes to, okay, here we go. So I would obviously argue, I guess where that's kind of becoming from those candle bottoms, I guess that's a SR point. Your monthly looks pretty good. It's kind of a make or break point. It does look pretty good. Yeah, I know what you're looking at. It's not a project I really believe in or like. I don't think they've really accomplished much. Down, it's all or nothing here, down 97%. I don't think it's something I would want to gamble on, but yeah, it does look like you can continue to bounce here. I would imagine people would buy this up at least a little bit. So yeah. Is it dead or not? It's kind of, nothing's ever completely dead. ARB, let's take a look. Let's look at the Coinbase one. This is coming up. You're getting red dots and stuff. It kind of looks like in the short term you may come down a little bit more. It's kind of hard to say on this. Middle to lower time frames are a bit concerning. Tough to say. Because you're in such a price discovery mode. I would, if we were going here to there, that kind of range, you've already hit that target now. What's the next, $4 or something? I think you'll eventually get there to that $4 mark, probably within the year, I would assume. But it could take some time. And let's see. SPX 12-hour. Okay, we'll look at the SPY. I know a lot of you guys don't really care about traditional markets as much, but weekly bear div, that is a concern. 2-week could give us one relatively soon. You're hitting a major point, previous all-time high, or at least very, very close to it. You came. That doesn't look too. Yeah, these time frames are pretty bearish, to be honest with you guys. If we can break above here, that's bullish, but yeah, just being as objective as possible, this is not the most bullish of charts, and I kind of do expect this would be the case. Say this comes down to 460 or something, Bitcoin can come down to 36, 38K. Those general areas. Not saying it's going to, but I'm saying it probably will if it does come down farther. Forex, not too often, not as much. We do look at the Forex charts sometimes. If you're interested more in Forex, we do have K-Mac in the Discord. He does a lot of forex setups and trades. So you guys should check it out. Link down below if you're interested. But I personally, I mean, I'm just speaking of forex. This is another one. I know CBZ likes this one. Has talked about it. About I think a 40% correction for this one. Could be the time to get in if you guys are. Yeah, I may put a little bit in here. I think it's not a terrible place to give a micro cap a shot and see where the hell it could go. I just wanted to see the number of. Come on, load. Yeah. Double bottom there. So yeah. Let's see. Triple Q. We could look at this. Yeah, a lot of these are tough because it's just too new. It kind of trigger wave forming there. That could be the case to come back up to 30 cents or whatever, that trigger wave. But I would imagine based on this, you can come down farther. The money flowing ain't bad though. I kind of do think you'd break up, but hard to say. Let's see here. We could look at we could look at the NASDAQ, the QQQ or whatever. Same as the S&P 500. That sure as hell does not look too bullish. That time when you came down a lot. I mean, came all the way back, but weekly sure as hell not looking too good. But if we could break above, which it doesn't look like we will right now, we could break above, potentially come up higher. So keep that in mind. But yeah, I don't know. But what I do think is that in all likelihood you may see a pullback here, unless this is the time where we just go parabolic and keep going. This is the long-term kind of trajectory for this up to high 20s or whatever over the next like 4 to 5 years. So, and then after that everything just falls apart. But yeah, let's see. SNX, we can look at SNX, sure. So I don't know much about this one, but yeah, I mean, look, this area right here, the line is already kind of there. I think this is the first time I've ever looked at this. Nah, maybe I've looked at it. This is, I now remember this. This is the Sin. Yeah, I've heard of this one, yeah. 2 week, that's the case to come back down into, no man's land, and then VWAP coming up here, trigger wave on the daily. Yeah, I think short term you may see some more relief. I'm just curious how Bitcoin's doing at the moment. Yeah. That is a large, like in the grand scheme of things, you look at kind of reverse head and shoulder situation. If you break upward, that's still the main target. I'm looking at 44.6. This does look like he'd jump up in the short term. Grand scheme of things, though, I'm just curious about how much this has. Yeah, 88% down currently. Let's see. Hitting a big point, that high. It's a new one. I don't, if you could break upward, I mean, this is just traditional simple TA. If you can break upward from here, most likely you would end up coming up to like 110 or something. I don't see any reason to believe you won't. It does look good in the shorter time frames. I think there's a good shot of coming up to 110 potentially, but you have this at $1, so don't be afraid of the dollar kind of rejection. So yeah. And let's see here. What's up, Accurate Components Corporation? What was I gonna? There's something I wanted to look at a little bit. Yeah. So far this TA on the FBTC has worked out. So far that TA has worked out. So yeah. But yeah, it does. I would say, especially on Bitcoin, it does look like you may see some more relief here, unless we somehow, if you could hold this freaking area, hopefully we will. Bear div on the 3-minute. It's just a 3-minute though. But yeah. So is that one. I wanted to look at HNT for a minute. HNT and VChain I wanted to take a look at. Let me just look at more data here. No, not that one. I don't know, KuCoin, yeah. Big area. Macro still looks pretty decent. Break above, you're probably looking at, you know, $14 or something. Yeah. Yeah. Near, sure, we could look at near. I just wanted to look at VChain quickly before we look at near. If you guys really want me to look at something, super chats, I will definitely spend a lot of time on it as opposed to just looking at it quickly. So yeah. And if you guys are interested, check out the Discord because we post a lot of really good stuff there. So near, or VChain, yeah, about a 30% correction. So typically a good place in the halving year and post-halving year. 30% corrections are typically good places to get into things. Not terrible looking. Not terrible looking. Let me look at near. Actually, let me just, I don't know why I want to, we're so far away from it, but I just noticed like this is a pretty big point right there. Yeah, I mean, for a lot of these look pretty good, like the 4-day, 5-day, that stuff. Area we're bouncing off of here. 10-hour looks decent. I like the money flow coming up. I do think you could see some more recovery for near. Macro, I think, is pretty good on this too. I mean, if we could get back up to, yeah, 200% back up to $10, that'd be nice. Doge, yeah, sure, why not? Rejecting from there. Yeah, that 2-week is a bit concerning there. But I do think like some of these ones, like the 4-day trigger wave, that could really save the day and bring you up to the next major point, 15 cents or whatever the hell. I don't know, blood diamonds in the 4-hour. I don't know if I like that 4-hour too much. So yeah. Let's see. Just wanted to look at the short term a little bit. Yeah, that same kind of place. 42.6. Yeah, significant area. I would argue with the money flow. I do think we could see some more relief with the money flow. It probably will take some time to play out, obviously, because the market's been so slow lately. But if you break upward, you're looking at that 44 again. Maybe even 40. Yeah, that pocket up there. Hopefully we can get there. And what is that type of jump from the 5% again? Maybe. Probably see ETH go up to 26 something. Now, I wanted to look at, let's look at some, you know, pairs. ETH versus Bitcoin. Big jump up. Big ferocious jump up. I like that. It's probably freaking 25% out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. Which is pretty good. Don't mind if I do. And yeah. Yeah, it looks good for continuation here. So, yeah. ETH looks good. Bitcoin dominance. Let's see here. Bitcoin dominance looks freaking bearish. Yeah, 2 weeks. So, you know, I still think people are quiet about the altcoin season. I still think we may see an altcoin season, assuming you don't get a trigger wave that brings you up higher on Bitcoin dominance up to that 57% mark. But there's always going to be a bullish and bearish case. So yeah. Theoretically, Bitcoin dominance could still go down slightly if the market does tank, especially in the halving year and post-halving year. DXDY, DYDX, yeah, that one. Yeah, looks not bad, not bad. I forget what this does, but yeah, making higher highs, not bad. I think it looks pretty good. Frog channel. ETHgate? No, I don't. What is ETHgate? I'm trying to remember what. It kind of sounds familiar, but I don't know what that is, unfortunately. Chainlink, yeah, weekly, not bad on the weekly here. Trigger wave there. Yeah, potentially breaking higher. Breakable. I think it'll eventually go up to $20 here. I wanted to look at, just in terms of like forex, I wanted to look at the Colonna versus the, and that just keeps going, The end of the US dollar. I know it's only a 30% jump from June 22, but just insanely. You want to root for the US dollar here, but yeah. The other one that's interesting would probably be this guy right here, Mexican peso. Big area. If we could break through though, and it looks like we might on that monthly, could go higher. If the Dixie pumps, I wouldn't really expect it though. So yeah, I think it is probably trying to go higher. So yeah, let's see. I'm trying to think here. All right, let's look at some stockies. Tesla. Big area for Tesla. I don't know if you're going to hold this. You might. You hopefully will. That 2-week looks atrocious, though. Jesus Christ. That monthly, if you get a trigger wave, that looks atrocious, too. Trigger wave to the upside on the Tesla's hard to freaking say right now. That's a hard one to read. I think it's kind of depends on what the SPY does to a certain extent. So yeah, just curious about Meta. Just this is like identical to the SPY, kind of identical to SPY, but this don't look as bad. This definitely don't look as bad. Nvidia, let's take a look. See, yeah, Jesus Christ, 560. This thing is just insane. I have no opinion on this. That monthly looks like it could signify even more, more continuation, if you will, I guess. I mean, a technical target from there to there is going to be 800, which is just absolutely insane. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, I think AVAX is probably a good one to look at right now. 2 hour. 2 hour don't tell us much, man. It's pretty choppy. Trigger waves coming up. I would assume a little bit. You're looking at the blood diamonds. 2 hour, they don't mean as much. 4 hour is a little bit concerning, but if you follow the money, it's not awful. And then if you look at some of these larger ones, it's not bad. That 2-day trigger could give us what we need here. That 2-day trigger could absolutely give us what we need. Bitcoin ain't doing much now at the moment. So yeah. How about like Pepe? Trigger waves and stuff forming. Potentially getting back up to there. Maybe. Hmm. Whoa, Clay the Great. Whoa, whoa. I don't know why I find that funny. Be careful, Clay the Great. Be careful. You don't want to run into no issues. You don't want to be losing all your money on other stuff. You don't want to be losing all your money on other shit. Yeah, I don't know. I think that you'll see more of a diminished return version of this. Like maybe the next trigger wave will just bring you here, or maybe up to 60. That's what I kind of feel like. Oh yeah, Coinbase. That was down a good amount. So, like I've been saying, guys, in halving years and post-halving years, well, unless you're trying to sell in the post-halving year, but which you probably should be, this correction is pretty good. That's a 30% drop down. Will we come down to 114? Maybe. I have no idea. Maybe 40%. Pretty good place to get in, I think. If we look at hidden bull div forming on the daily continuation marker, that bear div could have been playing out. You could wait for the next green dot on the 2-day, which could be a good place to kind of get in. So yeah, curious about micro strategy. Yeah, so we got our dump there. Yeah, and we hit, okay, so that wick, kind of this area is pretty significant, I would argue. That wick and these wicks and all this, yeah, you almost hit it or just hit it there. It's a significant area, I would argue. And coming up there. Hidden boulder, yeah. What do you guys think will do better? Or what was this? This is probably significant fucking, yeah, 33. What do you guys think will do better, MicroStrategy or Coinbase? Hard to say. Probably Coinbase at this point, but who knows? And you're down from that blow off top. You are down 63% still, so 63% discount. Anybody buy at the exact top? Anybody buy at $1,300 or anything over 1,000? You had to be nuts. When did this peak out? Was it February? Oh my God, that was early. Yeah, this has a mind of its own. I didn't realize it was that. Yeah, to May, and then yeah. Oh, are you in Brazil? You're talking about, are you in Brazil? I got to get down to Brazil. Trigger wave in the hourly here. British pound, US dollar. I can see this jumping a little bit more. Maybe not, though. How about Crow? How is Crow doing? Yeah, I mean, rejecting from that point. That's a big area. If we lose that, then you're probably coming down farther. Yeah. Trigger wave in that 4-day could give you something juicy. A lot of consolidation here. Don't know. Short term may not be the best thing. Let's look at Zcash. Let's look at it on Gemini. Yeah. So this is a big freaking. Let me just see. What are we doing right now? Yeah, I got the jump off of there. I don't know what the hell's gonna happen with this, but I think if we obviously there's a lot of risks in privacy tokens, but I think some of these trigger waves could bring us higher. These trigger waves may be able to bring us higher. How's everything doing? Just look at ApeCoin again. Yeah, very volatile, but Yeah, maybe we could jump here a little bit. Hitting that point, kind of. And then let's look at Bitcoin. Yeah, just a very freaking boring. It's by no means a fun market. No means is this a fun market at all. Yeah, it is a little bit. I mean, let's look at BNB again. It's it's that boring kind of market here. That green dot on the T. I like. I do think the clock is ticking here, but I do think we got. I do think we got a shot at coming up a bit more. So yeah. Yeah, there ain't too much. Nifty 50. It's been a minute since I've looked at this. Making that new all-time high here. Wow. I like this chart. Just only goes up. Like McDonald's. Didn't McDonald's come down a bit? Forget here. MCD. Yeah, there's certain things that just only go up. They just only go up. Just absolutely insane. Wow. Apple doesn't always go up. I mean, we're at freaking, I mean, that's a big place, I would argue, that we're hitting right now. We're at December 21 numbers, so you get 0.5% a year dividend. You might see, yeah, like I would assume, yeah, this could be, yeah, that could be a jump right there. The other one that I was looking at, ooh, yeah, I mean, this was a little bit of an arbitrary SR point right there that we were hitting, kind of arbitrary, but let me just draw a fib level or something. Yeah, next big place will be $10. Maybe it'll get down there. Maybe get down to $10 or something. Let's sell some put options for this. I feel like Hood's going to come back eventually. I feel like we're going to get that pump eventually for Hood. The other one, PayPal. That is, yeah, fucking daily blood diamond right there. But she's trying to fight back. Look at her go. She's trying to get there, and 17% from volatile thing. Ah, come on, load. Yeah, no, it's breaking up. I'm not too concerned about this. I think we still got. I think we'll get there. We just need to be a little bit patient with this. I think what may. Yeah, he's got a weird chart. So yeah. Anyway. Oh yeah, and then DocuSign. So I want to look DocuSign. That's another one. I mean, if they become profitable this year, which they might. I mean, and if you could break upward from this, area, which you might, approximately 100 to 107, that area. There ain't much to latch onto, and I mean, from where we are right now, 61, 200% up there, that'd be cool. So yeah, that was DocuSign. I want to see what else. Oh yeah, Pfizer is one of them that, you know, hitting off at that point, I mean, it can go lower. I know a lot of people want it to probably go lower for obvious reasons, but giant reverse head and shoulders. I mean, we'll see what happens here. Moderna, kind of a similar situation. Big drop downward, kind of a bubble pop pattern. Now trying to fight back. So yeah. I mean, this is obviously the same crap as the SPY, but I don't know why I wanted to look at this. Yeah, same. Oh, this came out in 2011, so it hasn't never been in the red on the 2-week. Wow. Yeah, it's a thing. S&P 5, if you could break upward, I mean, this would be kind of your trajectory into, I don't know, the election end of the year if we were to keep going. I mean, I think Biden's approval rating will kind of go up a good amount if we do get up to 500 or 530 or whatever. So, yeah. I mean, other than the pandemic, this was the biggest correction. You know, and many would argue this was a mild recession, and then you came out stronger and you keep going, and then towards the end of the decade, maybe you go into another one. Or early next decade, so yeah. Now we're rejecting from that point. So just a freaking boring market. What do you know? Just a boring freaking market. So yeah, not too much else, guys. In a few trades, trying to, you know, wait and see what happens here for an outcome. Hopefully we'll get an outcome relatively soon. Generally a boring week. If you do, you know, break downward, the more bear things play out, you're looking at, you know, 37 area is pretty significant, I would argue. So, I mean, yeah, 26, 25%, and then the 30%, 34, you know, wicks down, all that. Yeah, that kind of area. So, yeah, I mean, that's that. I just want to look at this a little bit more. Yeah, I don't know. I think if we could bounce here, that would be pretty good. I mean, it's kind of that pocket is from kind of there to there, I would argue. So if we could bounce there, that's a good sign, obviously. Anyway, guys, I think I'm going to get going. Check out the links to the exchanges down below, especially FAIRDESK and BitMart. Both are really good. Get the $100 bonus every week. We give away one person who deposits and trades any amount with FAIRDESK, so check that out. Link down below for that. And let's see. And yeah, check out the Discord. Did a Q&A with you guys last night in the Discord, so check it out if you guys are interested. All right, guys.